Every good story has a point, a moral, or at the very least an ending that makes what has preceded it make sense. That doesn't mean that every radio commercial needs to be a story. See, when we say storytelling, we mean communicating a piece of information. Think of all the great stories you know, and they've all got one thing in common: great structure. To simplify, you start at point A, go through point B, and end up at point C. And you can pretty much look at any movie and use this simple framework to measure its plot. For example, Star Wars. At point A, we're introduced to the concept of good versus evil. At point B, we're introduced to Luke Skywalker and he's joining the fight and all that kind of stuff. And at point C, it resolves in him winning the day and everyone gets medals and it's all great. Now that's all well and good when you've got a couple of hours and multi-million-dollar budgets to work with, but with a radio commercial, we've normally got about 30 seconds and not a lot of money to work with. And instead of a cast of thousands, we've got 2, maybe 3 people if we're lucky. Now, what this means is we have to keep things exceptionally simple. That doesn't mean dumb things down by any stretch. You just need to keep your framework simple. Now, look at an episode of The Sopranos. They've got subplots and other plots interweaving all the time, and you don't really know what's going on. You have to watch a whole series to get the whole thing. We can't be that intricate. We've just got to keep things nice and simple, go from point A to point B to point C, take people by the hand at point A, lead them through to point C. The most important thing is your storytelling has to sell the product. Because at the end of the day, no matter how wonderful it is, no matter how beautifully crafted it is, no matter how great your bit of storytelling is, if it doesn't have relevance to the product and doesn't sell product, then it will be deemed a failure. Hence, whatever vehicle you use to convey your message has to have relevance to the product. You must be able to tie it back in to the product, or it has to be reflected in the product somehow. And that is the ultimate skill in creating great radio commercials. Let's have a listen to an example now. It's from the UK from a while ago. It's a beautiful piece of storytelling. It's probably the simplest example I could find. It uses an old parable and it just ties it back in beautifully. It's just a nice piece of storytelling. It makes you listen. It's just nice and clean and pure. Anyway, have a listen.
A man finds himself on a beach with his guardian angel. As they walk, he notices 2 sets of footprints. "Whose are those?" he asks. "They are yours," the angel replies. "This is the path of your life." "And who do the other footprints belong to?" "They are mine," the angel answers. "I was there throughout your life." As they walk on, the angel points to a place where 1 set of footprints begin to limp. "There," he says, "that is where your wife fell ill. You see, I was with you even then." "And what about here?" the man says, indicating a part of the beach where there were only 1 set of footprints. "That is where your wife died." "Well, where were you then?" the man asked angrily. "Where were you then when I needed you most?" "At that point," the angel replied, "I was carrying you."
Thousands of Marie Curie nurses provide free care and 24-hour support to cancer patients in their homes. Marie Curie Cancer Care is a registered charity. Please make a donation to support us on 0800 66 1199.
As great as that is, it's a fairly obvious example of really nice storytelling. We'll have a look at another ad now, or listen to another ad now. It's less obvious in terms of being an example of great storytelling, but we'll have a listen to it once and then we'll break it up and have a listen. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Have a listen.
Right, my 30th wedding anniversary card. Get this down, please, Claire. Okay. Dear Margaret.
My darling Margaret.
If I hadn't wandered into that wine bar that evening...
I feel blessed that I found you.
If I hadn't drunk that Rioja, I mightn't have spoken to you.
Destiny brought us together.
Here's to another year.
Eternity will not break us apart.
Love, B.
All my love forever. Brian, your big walrus.
Very good.
Perfect.
Better employees make you look good. Place a job online at monster.co.uk to reach a range of outstanding relevant local candidates from only £270 plus VAT. Call 0800 955 5115 or visit monster.co.uk.
Okay, so we'll have another listen to this ad, but when we're having a listen to it this time, keep an ear out for point A, which is where we're being introduced to the scenario, the characters and their predicament. Point B, where the characters are revealing themselves a little bit more, where we kind of find out the boss is a little bit hopeless and the secretary is actually the hero of the piece. And then point C, where the ad resolves itself and we find out that if we want to find an employee that's going to make us look this good, we should go to monster.co.uk. Let's have another listen looking at it like this.
Right, my 30th wedding anniversary card. Get this down, please, Claire.
Okay.
Dear Margaret.
My darling Margaret.
If I hadn't wandered into that wine bar that evening...
I feel blessed that I found you.
If I hadn't drunk that Rioja, I mightn't have spoken to you.
Destiny brought us together.
Here's to another year.
Eternity will not break us apart.
Love, B.
All my love forever, Brian, your big walrus.
Very good.
Perfect.
Better employees make you look good. Place a job online at monster.co.uk to reach a range of outstanding relevant local candidates from only £270 plus VAT. Call 0800 955 5115 or visit monster.co.uk.
So there you go. That's a brief introduction into storytelling in radio writing. Basically, just simplicity and efficiency is the key. Just grab the listener by the hand at point A, lead them through point B, never letting go, and reach point C. That's it. No great tricks. Just keep it simple. Cheers.